basically Cassian interrupts Eris and Nesta and is like, move, and you can just like there's thoughts or hearing or senses of Rhysand and Fair going, what the frack are you doing, Cassian?
Yeah.
Messing this up. And I'm
Oh.
kind of here for it. I'm alright with it. Like, they've been dancing a long time. It's fine. Cassian can interrupt it. So.
Yeah.
And she's like, am I to understand you would like to dance? Trying to do my shit over here.
Yeah. I want to
He's like,
dance.
yes. And then even Eris is like, get stuff, like, go sit with your master, you dog, and all that stuff. And she's
said,
like, no one likes a selfish
share.
partner, Eris. We must share.
Yeah, time to share.
And it's like, well played, Nesta. And then he just buggers off and leaves them to it. And she's like, you happy now? And he's like, no, I'm not happy.
Literary labyrinth, labyrinth, literary labyrinth, labyrinth, literary labyrinth, labyrinth, literary labyrinth, labyrinth.
Hello and welcome to the Literary Labyrinth Podcast.
Yay!
We are your hosts. My name is Leela. I am a nerd for books. I love fantasy, escapism, anything that takes me away from reality.
And my name is Linda, and I also love books, but I just don't get much time to read them. But I am a lover of romance books. Look at Tom Pretty.
Yeah. And we are two sisters, one who reads fast.
And one that beats slow.
Yay! So if you are a returning listener, thank you so much for joining us again. We are glad that you're sticking with us through our journey through A Court of Silver Flames. This is part 6 of our journey. It's a chunky book, so yeah, it's part 6. But before we do, just want to do a couple of little tidbits. We are on Instagram, TikTok, so please make sure you check us out. The link in our bio shows all the links that you need to discover, find us, and please share us with all your book besties. And also, because we have basically this podcast, and then next week we are finishing A Court of Silver Flames, which I'm displaying here. So we are finishing our Sarah J Maas so far journey. Next week, we want to announce the book that we will be reading after that. So, Linda, drumroll, what are we reading?
Well, we are reading staying in romantasy, but we are reading A Shield of Sparrows by Devoney Perry. So this is supposed to be a trilogy. The first 2 are out, but the third one isn't out yet. And it's a romantasy. It's a big chunky one as well again. But it's a romantasy, and this one is about monsters and gods. And there's a 5 kingdoms, a princess, and somebody called the Guardian. So yeah, the caption is, if you're not terrified, you're doing it wrong. So yeah, that's as much as I know at the moment. Like, that's it. I can't tell you anymore. So looking forward to reading the first chapter.
That's exciting. So Wes, well, please make sure if you want to join us on our reading journey, we will be doing that in 2 weeks' time. So try to get your hands on that book, borrow it from someone that already has it, check the library, get those ebooks wherever you get it. But that is where that is the book we're going to move on to next in 2 weeks' time. 2 weeks' time. Yes, but now we return back to the Sarah J Maas world, and we are going to we're going to be discussing, the chapters we have read, which are, Linda?
So we're going to go into chapters 55 to 64. And if you remember where we left off, I can't really pronounce his name, that they had a big battle with Lanthus. And I think they got him.
They did. They got it. They killed him.
So the last time they were having a battle with Lanthus, and Nesta pulled out the big guns with her new magical sword, slashed it, and we ended up with Cassian. Them transported. They've got the harp transported back to the river house, and Cassian fell on the floor. in the
Yeah,
grass.
well, he was pretty beat up, let's be honest. He's like, "I'm totally fine." It's like, "No, your head split open, you're probably dislocated in many places, and thank God Nesta was there to save your butt
Yeah.
with ataraxia, the
Atarax-
sword.
Anorexia.
Anorexia, which
Anorexia. 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 Oh, I don't know.
it's
But yeah.
ataraxia. But anyway, yes. So they're back now in the safety, away from the prison, away from Lanthus' dead body and the crazy autumn possessed guards that were coming to get them as well, from the autumn court.
Yeah. They were there.
And they're now in Farah's house with Rhysand, and Cassian's getting medical attention.
Yes. And they've got the harp as well.
They
So
do. Most importantly, they have the harp. Yeah.
harp, which is the next bit in the troll. So I'm not sure if they can put the harp and the mass together, but it's funny because she knew how to use it as well. So like, she made for, was it like for like?
Like calls to
Like. Yeah, so she knew how to use it. So I was like, okay, whatever. But anyway, so it's a bit weird that they think that maybe whoever put the harp in there actually didn't mean for it to be a prison, but because the harp was so powerful, then they decided to put evil creatures in there to keep
Yeah,
it
it was like
safe.
they put it on top to keep it safe. So as they built, there's so many prisoners that it was just hiding any detection that it existed there.
Yeah, so that was really why it was just basically the prison was made to hide the harp. That's what they're trying to say. Maybe it trapped the people who once lived on the prison's island. But
Yes, and
so
we
how
don't
powerful.
we? It's super powerful. And the other thing we find out is obviously she's now talking about, what happened and everything, but we find out that she believes, Nesta, that from her vision, that the last person to use the harp had trapped a bunch of Fae people in a kingdom and stopped them from getting through. Like they were trying to escape something or whatever, but they were like hammering through this like rock or something because the whoever it was closed the portal that the harp gave access to. So we think somebody very horrible did that, which is sad. So there must be like
Yeah.
another kingdom because
Or Old Kingdom or Portal something. It was made really unclear. Like Rhys does give a bit of like background, like he was saying like we weren't the first in this world. Accordingly, there were near gods and monsters, the Daglin, who ruled for millennia and enslaved Fae and humans, and they were really cruel. And then it was Fionn who had the great sword, Gwendolyn, and he stopped everybody from in the phase one.
Yeah, and then that was it Fionn, I think that's how you say their name.
Yeah.
They became the High King.
Yes, until he was betrayed by his queen. And then everything and then it was all split into the territories they are now.
That's right. And now it's all run by High Lords because of that situation, which is sad. Yeah, they so the other thing that comes up in question is Nesta's like, what's Narbon? Because Lanthus said Narbon, what's that about? A sword.
It's a death sword.
Rhysand's like, it's a death sword. It's been lost. The sword could kill anything, including Lanthus. And she's like, that's why he thought my sword was Lanthus. Was Narbon, but it's not. So that sword's clearly
the
somewhere.
Same bar or something. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's somewhere like hers. Like us to like. Sorry.
Yeah. So these guys that were before the Fae, the Daglin, they used to terrorize the Fae and humans under their control with the Wild Hunt to keep them in line. So it's like the Purge. They just went crazy one night and did a purge.
Yeah, like that was the thing because she was like, oh, another thing came up, the Wild Hunt. What is that? And then they're like, oh, okay. Yeah, so exactly what you said. They went out, purge, they hate all that. Except for Fionn then was like, enough of that purging nonsense, back it up, until obviously they got betrayed by the Queen and it got split up. But still, no purge because they okay. But yeah, apparently the Daglin love tormenting fays and humans. They go off
What
on it.
happened to them? What happened
Well,
to the
that's
Dagger?
that's what we don't know, because they said they're beasts that chased them, tortured them, killed them. And Nesta says, like, the beasts, they looked like the beasts from Hewn City that are sort of,
Yeah,
you
they
know,
were
they're, I
overthrown.
guess,
That's what we get.
memorialized somehow. But she said, that's the image I saw. Those beasts look like the ones that we see in Hewn City. And because she's explaining that he showed me a vision, and also he was trying to have sex with me in the vision. Let's not forget that moment.
There. Cassian was there. She's like, I just omitted that bit out. So yeah, let's not talk about that bit. But
Yeah,
she
she's
did as
like,
well.
I'm not going to say anything.
But like the last piece as well is that she said she had a vision from Lanthus, who was showing her all the different things. Said we can have the whole Dread Cove together. So it was the mask, the harp, the crown, and then she said, I don't know, but there was a fourth part there, and all I can make out was the ancient bone. So you're like, oh, there is a fourth part.
There's a fourth trove, yeah, which they don't seem to know what it is or what it does, but she says she sees it and they're like, ooh, interesting, okay. But I do love there's a moment where Cassian says, so let me get this straight. Lanthus tried to kill you and then seduce you simultaneously. And I'm like, that's the thing you're focusing on right now. She's like,
yeah, he's like, no, man.
Like, what a dick. But yeah, so they find out about that. Reese wants to go after the crown, but Farah's like, no, it's too dangerous. Reese says that we need to secure an alliance, and they're kind of going back and forth about how do we do it? I don't know. Maybe we go. No, we can't. Okay, do this. Okay, maybe not. And you're just like, what's up with you and Reese and Farah? Like cut the crap, like, right now.
But anyway, they want like Eris's alliance, don't they? So the only way they can think of him is like invite him to the winter solstice at Hewn City. And they're like, oh, we want Nesta's help with this to dance with Eris.
Now, can I just say, no, it's because they are just like, hey, Nesta, can you do this? Can you do this? Can you do this? They're just shoving loads of stuff. And fair enough, like from history, she didn't pull her weight and stuff. But it's called a marathon, not a sprint. The girl let's all recall this, not the last episode.
A moment ago.
The bog of eternal stench, aka Urid. And she also, she endured that. Kelpie. She endured the fact that she almost died by Lanthus and killed him with a sword. And
which
now you're asking
me like months ago.
Yeah, and there's the harp. It's like, hey, I just did this and found all this information out from you. Yeah, can you go with air? It's like, let's take a beat, man. Like, give the girl some breathing room.
It is a bit like Freya and like Risa are like, yeah, can you do some work? We're just gonna sit back and whatever. And I'm like, I have found that this book is a bit right. Moore has disappeared, so she's gone off somewhere.
Why
so she's
is Moore not pulling her weight? Where the hell
is off
Moore?
Somewhere. Then, like, it's just basically the only three people that are doing work are Asriel, Cassian, and Nesta. Cameron's not doing anything. And look, she could do stuff. She could do stuff. She could just be there. She doesn't have to use her power. She hasn't got any power. But she could just be there to help out. But she's not.
Yeah, but she doesn't. She just goes and has sex with Varian 24/7.
Yeah, and goes to sleep. And then I'm like, what? And then Reese and Farah are just like, oh, well, we're pregnant, so we're not going to do anything. And I'm like, what? Okay. That gives
like
Freya a pass, but not
like
you,
a
Reese.
man. It's like man milking his paternity leave.
That doesn't give you like a free pass, Reese. Come on, pull your weight.
I know. And anyway, you're just like, yeah, but Reese did do all this stuff. And you're like, okay, listen, I'm not saying that Nesta can't help or you shouldn't be able to ask her. What I'm saying is 2 freaking minutes ago, okay, not even a minute, let's say it's been 24 hours. She has just returned with a harp and almost died. Remember, they only sent Cassian and Nesta. That's it.
I know, that was uncalled for. Also,
that was stupid.
Does anybody remember Elaine? Nobody remembers Elaine.
No one cares. It's
everyone
like seriously
about Elaine. Like,
no, I did. So they get told, so she gets told, hey, we want to get an alliance with Eris. And we've heard from Elaine that you have seductive dancing skills to lure men. Great. Okay. Because we heard the story before about Elaine being, she would wrap a guy around her finger so easily. So you're like, okay, fine. So can you seduce Eris? You don't have to have sex with him. Oh, thank you so much for letting me know. God's sake. Anyway, but you need to show him, what there is to attain, swoon him, and Nessa's like, all right. Cassian's like, you can get stuffed, quite frankly. And fair enough, but he's going to say that. Of course he is. And so Nesta, I'm like, okay, fine. Nesta wants to say, hey, I'm here. I'll do that. Easy peasy. It's no problem. And you're like, she can do that well. That's fine. But it's just the fact that literally 24 hours ago.
Not even 24 hours ago, like 20 minutes ago.
Yeah. Anyway. So then we move into chapter 56.
Yeah.
And a month has passed. A month. She's been training, practicing dances with Moore. Oh yeah, here's Moore, by the way. I'm available for dance lessons, but I can't help out with the trove. Screw you, Moore.
Yeah, I was a bit like, why is Moore back now? Like, what? Why couldn't she help with the whole thing? Like, if she could come back that fast, couldn't she help with the prison? I was a bit like, very well. But her and Moore are like getting on civilly. So like, she's not having a fight with her. And she's just...
No, and she doesn't need to either. Like, she's basic. That's how I see Moore. I don't like Moore.
Nobody tells us what she's doing over there, helping with treaties. So I think there's something more going on.
There better be, because that's not my issue with Sarah J Maas is I feel that we've I think what would have been better, in my opinion, is her pacing sometimes is messy. Because she's like, oh, now we've done this, and now we're here, and now they've asked me this. And I'm like, what could have happened here is she could have said, they talked about the thing, they think that they want, Nesta to do this with Eris, but they ask her, they could say a month has passed, and within that month, Farah and Rhysand asked me to do this thing, to dance with Eris.
Yeah.
Then I'd believe it more, because then you're like, within the month they asked her. Oh, okay, makes sense. So I've learned some dance routines, but it's sort of like, hey, 20 minutes, let's go. I think that's my issue with some of the stuff that she does. Her pacing's starting to get a little bit cray-cray as we get to the end of the book. It's like I've got to get to the thing. And it's like, yes, but guide us there. Don't just like slam it.
Yeah, it's a bit like, whoa, okay, right. Like, look, you just completed this. You've got no time to grow a cover. Come on, let's go and do the next thing. And you're like, oh, okay. Yeah. But after that, she's learning dancing. And then she goes to the library afterwards. And Emery's come to the library to hang out a bit. But she says she can hear dark voices in the basement where the darkness is. It's a bit creepy.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So there's that maybe she can feel it too, the darkness. But also Gwen says, I've got a little present for you. And she's written a bit about what they're doing with the Valkyries in Meryl's book. Because she's like, stories are worth telling too.
But she's right, because if they're forming a new Valkyrie thing, it's like, absolutely. But also what I found interesting about that is that Meryl is participating in this.
Yeah.
Is Meryl as bad as we think she is?
Yes.
She's a total bitch. I just found that interesting. So I convinced her, is what she says, into a penultimate chapter. So even letting me write it, which I'm like, first of all, she's letting her write it.
But I think the chapter ends with Nesta trying to light a fire, doesn't she? A small fire, to see if she can cope with it bit by bit, because she's scared of fire, so she's trying to calm herself down a bit, and then get into a familiar darkness, and then and she sort of feels like that the darkness is like the heart of the house is the darkness in your heart, as you're trying to do the same thing and trying to come back to that. So she's trying to get around it.
Yeah, so but it's a significant point in the book because we realize that she's almost gave she gave the sword life. She gave things. She's almost in a sense given the house a
Yeah.
heart.
And it's also
So
dark and it's troubled too, but it also likes romance novels.
yeah, and I thought that was quite nice because it was saying, look, the heart of the house is got good light and dark, but unfortunately there is a
Yeah.
dark pit. It's lonely, and she's
Bit
just like,
scary.
and she's like, you are my friend home. Thank you for sharing this with me. That's quite a nice tender
Aw.
moment and she's a happy solstice, and you just think, her house is a friend. I like the house. The house is good.
The house is cool. I love Encanto House.
Yeah,
Encanto.
Encanto, yeah. So then we get to chapter 57. Winter solstice has arrived.
Oh yeah, but
It's like,
Cassian's a bit,
shocker! There's a reveal.
but like Cassian's a bit sad about it because you know what happened last winter solstice,
Yeah,
and he
it didn't
didn't get on with Nesta, and he threw the present in the river. So he's like a bit like,
did.
I hope it's gonna be okay. She's not gonna go cray cray again.
Yeah, he's a little bit on edge about it. But hopefully she's like, yeah, it's fine. So they all go down to the evil,
Hume
dark,
City.
gothic night court in Hume City, the nightmare court, essentially.
Court of
And
Nightmares.
looking like sexy goth night
Oh God.
goddesses.
But no, but there's a good bit here where they go like, you know, like,
go.
oh, like where they're all like, yeah, we're up there, we're all wearing like black and all stuff, and then they go, Elaine in black was ridiculous.
I thought it was so funny when that came up. Elaine's really pretty, but she looked like shit.
She looks ridiculous in black, and I was like,
she's completely washed out. Like, Jesus Christ! But Nesta, whoo, girl,
yeah, she's looking good.
It's plunged neckline because you know a good plunge, nearly to her navel. You know, silver thread gathered to hold a small sapphire that matched the one on her crown. They're all wearing crowns, don't ask me.
Oh yeah,
The
because
full skirts brushed the dark floor, rustling in the rippling silence.
what did Cassian say? Nesta in nightcoat black threatened to bring him to his knees.
I mean, fair enough. I was like, yeah, I can see her slay that. I think she was slay that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what Nesta. So Nesta and Elaine are following behind Farah.
Oh yeah, and it's
Now,
just
yeah. You say what's going on with Farah because I go lose my crap.
right. So yeah, this is the moment where they like tonight they give it as a purpose to tell the whole world of Freya's pregnancy, and the whole room gasped because yes, her smell filled the room, and you're like, okay, great.
She wore a dress of sparkling black panels, which like the one she'd first worn, and it did nothing to hide her swelling belly.
So is it see-through or is it just a cut through?
Well, that's what it's quite a saucy outfit from what
Yeah.
I think. Her serene face was lovely, her full red lips parted in a smile, aimed for the throne's Kirtor between anger, shock, and Eris was carefully neutral. But
yeah.
aside from what she's actually wearing, I think that's kind of it. It's more just like she's basically wearing a sexy black dress, but it's very obvious that
She's pregnant.
She got baby in belly. And everyone's like, oh my God, she is pregnant.
Yeah. So, yeah, but I think the main task was as well to have Nesta down with Eris.
Can I just read this bit? Because we were talking about how, like, Elaine doesn't look good in it.
She looks ridiculous.
Elaine is black was ridiculous. Yes, she was beautiful, but the color of her long-sleeve modest gown leached the brightness from her face. It wore her rather than the other way around. And what I will say is, it's never good to wear a dress that is wearing you. It's not. So Elaine looks probably quite awful. So anyway, yes, you were saying, Eris, Dancy, let's do this.
Yeah, so Eris turns up. He's there going, hey, with Kier to them all that. He's just like, congratulations. And they gift him a dagger. But like, I didn't really understand this. So
Okay,
this is one of the
okay.
daggers that have been made by Nesta.
Let me
Why?
just say something.
This is one of
First of
Reese's
all,
bad ideas.
This is exactly that. Who said that you could give Nesta's dagger that she made to
Yeah.
someone else as a gift without even consulting her?
Yeah, never asked her. Yeah. I mean, she doesn't
She
seem
just
to
goes,
care, but still.
she doesn't seem to care, but as a story point, that's just stupid. Why would you do that?
That's just stupid.
Why would you give him a dagger that basically kills anything? Everything.
Yeah. And
He
he could
doesn't
sense
know
the
that,
power.
but you give him a weapon that basically incites that. Anyway, he doesn't know it's Nesta's dagger. He thinks
No.
it's an heirloom
It's
from
just
Reese's
an old made one.
giant, yeah, whatever. And so he goes, thanks or whatever, and that's that.
Yeah, and she says, and then Freya's like, oh, also, I would normally dance with you, but I'm not in a position to dance right now. Maybe one of my sisters could dance with you. And like, Elaine has to look, Elaine give a passable impression, appearing interested. Like, feel like, so she had to pretend like she's like, not me. And then Nesta even looked bored, like they hadn't been giving away the dagger she'd made. And then he's just like, so Freya had to go like, oh, my older sister shall take my place. Because I think he was looking at Elaine, actually.
Yeah, it seems like it could be that way because none of them. I think he also Eris was like, so which one? And then suddenly he was like, mm-hmm.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
yeah, he goes off to dance with Nesta on the dance floor. And yeah, so she's like apparently amazing at dancing, but so is he so good at dancing. Like he knows all the dance moves.
They're slaying it. It's like, it's basically the scenario where you're in a big crowd and then the crowd just parts because they're so good and you're all
Yeah.
shit. And you're just
And
gonna
she had
watch
loads
it.
of skill, and then Elaine had rather unsold her sister's abilities. So yeah, that she's like killing it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, and Cassian's just like, he'd seen a queen of night, but she was death's consort.
Oh,
Death herself.
he is besotted. Quite
Oh, he
frankly.
is besotted with Nesta. He was besotted with Nesta like in Court of Mist and Fury when he was like, hey, and she was a human, and she's like, F off.
Yeah, I love that. He was like, I'm into you. And she's like, stuff.
Go away.
So that, yes. So Nesta and Eris are, dancing. She's
Dancing.
amazing. She's having a great time. She's like loving it. She loves
Oh,
dancing.
but then they have to waltz and they have to spin. And only the
Yes.
brave will spin. To spin was a
That's-
risk looking at fool at best. To eat marble at worst. Nesta went for it. And you're like, oh.
She's like, she was like, oh my God, do you know, in my head, I had, don't ask me why, but I had quotes from Save the Last Dance in my head. You know, like how terrible that movie is for dancing, where like she just, like Julia Stiles does like a little
Not
dance
real
break,
dancing.
and all of the extremely talented Black community that know how to like dance go, oh damn, this white girl's doing like amazing crap moves, and you're like, no, she isn't.
She's not. She's not doing it. But you have to
And
say
I just
that.
wanted to be like, snap, Nesta's moving. Sorry.
Look at Nesta move through the crowd. Yeah, she's spinning. She just doesn't stop.
She's like saying like, you can do it, put your back into it.
So yeah, she's just like
anyway.
dancing around. She's not even moving. She's on her tiptoes. And they're like, what does it say? She was seducing Eris within an inch of his life.
Oh yeah, no, Eris is like, holy crap, hello. Yeah,
This is
that's
how you seduce people in like the night court and autumn court. You just have to dance. Like, there's no like, hey, dating. It's all about the dance.
Well, I think because she's quite limber with her moves. They're like, sex will be good. Sex is good. You know, because all they think about is sex and bloody, these bays are all. And remember, the autumn court guys are wow, slap bam, thank you, ma'am, attacking each
He'll
other.
cheat
I
on
don't know.
you. He'll cheat on you. Don't even bother. But
I
yeah,
don't think Eris is a bad guy. I think he's been made into this nasty person by Moore, and I think it's bullshit. I
it's
think,
morally grey. Yeah.
yeah, I think he's been put in a position with his father, but I don't actually think that he is a bad person. I don't think he's actually what they've made him out to be, this monster. That's what I
Mm,
don't think. So,
yeah.
anyways, so he's there dancing with her, besotted. It's like sealing the deal, and they have a little chat on the
Oh, they
dance.
do have a little chat,
Yeah.
don't they? They said, I didn't see this side of you. Don't believe the lies they tell you about me.
That's why I'm saying, like, not even just that, but just actionable stuff he's done as well. I'm like, it's coming through. But
Mm,
yeah, she's like,
yeah.
interesting. Okay.
Yeah, and he says more, she knows the truth, but has never revealed it. And you're just like,
Again, I'm telling you, Mora's sus if she doesn't tell Asriel about, like, no, and she's sus if she's like, I don't want to talk about it.
yeah.
Nah.
And they said, so like Eris laughs and he's just like having this chat with Nesta. And he's just saying that like, oh, I really like someone who can both dance and tear the King of Highborn's head from his shoulder. This is like a like a perfect mate.
Yeah, and she's swabbing him, going, are you inquiring about my eligibility? And it's like,
Until like we get somebody who's just walked in and goes, move.
it's so funny when that happens. Basically, Cassian interrupts Eris and Nesta and is like, move. And you can just, like, there's thoughts or hearing or senses of Rhysand and Fair going, what the frack are you doing, Cassian?
Yeah.
Messing this up. And
Oh.
I'm kind of here for it. I'm alright with it. Like, they've been dancing a long time. It's fine. Cassian can interrupt it.
Yeah.
And she's like, am I to understand you would like to dance? Trying to do my shit over here.
Yeah. I want
And
to
he's like,
dance.
yes. And then even Eris is like, get stuff, like, go sit with your master, you dog, and all that stuff. And
She
she's
said,
like, no one likes a
time
selfish
share.
partner, Eris. We must share.
Yeah. Time to share.
And it's like, well played, Nesta. And then he just buggers off and leaves them to it. And she's like, you happy now? And he's like, no, I'm not happy. I'm annoyed.
Yeah.
And
Why
then
you
they
like
have a little
it?
dance themselves for a
Like I
little
feel
bit.
like Cassian, poor Cassian, he's just like, I'm not happy. Why are you with this guy? She's like, we just agreed that
Yeah.
I was to meet him, so to stay in the court. And he's like, I don't like it. And she's like,
He's like, I'm not happy about it. And it's like, yeah, but I don't even give a damn about Eris. So what are you doing? But the sweet thing is they kind of get lost in each other's eyes and they dance a
yeah.
little bit. And he keeps up. So Cassian's all right on the dance floor.
Oh yeah, because Morph actually, she did a nice thing, and she did teach Cassian the dance moves to make him a bit better, so he wouldn't fall on his face. So that was a nice thing.
Yeah,
It was a nice thing Moore did.
Yeah, okay, but that's like one. I'm still not a trooper for more. She's got a lot of to do.
So Eris comes back to Freya and Rhys while this is happening, and they're like, "What does he say?" He says like, I mean, that whatever you want, I'll give it to you in exchange for her as my bride."
Oh yeah, he's there. I'm done. He's like, I don't actually care if she's gonna be my bride, and that's it. I'll give you whatever. And Rhys is even like considering it, like
And
in
Freya, yeah,
conversation. And Farrah's like, Rhysand, what you doing?
yeah.
And he's just sort of chuckling, going like, well, it's up to her, you know, you have to see what she wants, and yeah, whatever. That's fine. If she says yes, then you should go for it. And I'm like, all right, like Rhysand,
Yeah.
like, just chill. I know you've got to have this demeanor on the outside. I get it. So anyway, yeah, that happens. But Cassian's like, no, gonna marry Eris. Then there's no one else, she says, you know, that's what they agree. It's just her and him, and that's it. And then
The remark he said, it was like, it would be repaying Cassian for ruining my betrothal to Morgan.
Oh well, yeah, because of the sex. I think
Yeah.
what's happened there is that I'm not sure. We'll find out, I'm sure. But more being betrothed to Eris said, "Okay, you don't want this. I'll find an out." She
Mhm.
decided to find her own out and slept with Cassian,
Yeah.
which resulted in her being, I guess, nailed to the door with a note or whatever. Not to the door, but you know what I mean. In her
Yeah.
stomach, poor girl. And I'm assuming at that point he was like, if I help you, it's gonna make it look like, oh well, we're together or whatever. If I don't do anything, you won't have to be with me. It can be an assertive claim to everybody that, oh, I don't want damaged goods kind of thing. And then I'll
Yeah.
walk away and then you'll be free.
But
But
I'll
I'm
send a
sorry
message to
that,
someone to come get you. Yeah.
yeah, and that's it. And someone will come and get you. Because at the end of the day, the person that nailed her stomach was her freaking evil father, not him. He didn't
No,
do
he
that.
walked away. It was just like, he could have been like, right, went to court, we're just going to kind of torture you.
If he
But
did leave her and just went, whatever, I don't want damaged goods, yeah, he's a dick. But I don't think that's how it went down. I don't think that's what's happened.
yeah, there is something else going on there.
Yeah.
Like,
I
how
think
did they
they made
also, how
deal.
did Reese find her so fast in Autumn Court? That's what I want to know.
Same.
I think
Yeah,
there's something going on there. But anyway,
I agree.
yeah, we move by now to the river
Don't
house.
forget Nesta and Cassian had sex again.
Oh, did they? They
Yeah.
always having sex. For God's sake.
They're always having sex. Anyway, 58. So Nesta, Cassian go to Ferris to celebrate winter solstice.
Yes, that's it. So they go to the river house, and yeah, she's got to be in her best behavior.
Yes, and she is. She is.
Yeah,
She has a
she is
great time.
actually.
They all
Yeah.
exchange gifts.
But Elaine is a bit of a bitch. I'm sorry, she is.
Yeah,
She's
I
like,
don't like Blaine.
Mr. shows up, and she's like, oh, like she comes up, and then Elaine kind of looks at her, and she's like, "Did Freya pay you like last year?" And she just goes, "No." And then Elaine glances over Nessa's shoulder at the open doorway, and she went, "Just please don't accept Freya. It's her birthday and all." Like, and in her state, and she just tilts it off. And I'm just like, goodness.
I love that when Nesta does that, because when I was reading it and I'm going, Elaine, did you, like she says, did Farah pay you? And I'm like, whatever. But when she says, please don't upset Farah, the
Yeah.
absolute anger I felt in this moment, I wanted to claw her freaking face off. I went, upset Farah. You can get stuffed right now. I'm not even here. Like, Nesta's not here to upset Farah. And also,
She
you're a
found it
freaking dick
hilarious.
for saying that. Do you know how much shit I've just been through? Like,
Yeah.
and so when she says, fuck you, quite rightly so, Elaine's like,
Like that. Let's
oh,
be friends. Let's go in
yes.
together. And I was
It's
like,
like, I'm
listen.
sorry. I think it's a good sign because, you know, it feels like you never said such a thing to me. It must be a good sign. Let's link arms. And I'm like, I don't like you, Elaine. I don't
Yeah,
like
why is that funny? And like Nesta's just like, okay. And then she's whopping and I feel a bit bad for Nesta because she goes into the thing and like all the inner circle are there. Amron's in Briallyn's lap, obviously, just like, seriously,
Do you know what?
woman. Like,
I just can't take them too. I don't even, do you know what? I can't even take them because I just don't even give a shit about the relationship because I know nothing about it.
yeah, she doesn't want to be there, but she's making an effort and everybody else is
Why
just
are you
being,
even alive? You should have died in the last book. Completely pointless character.
So,
That's Sarah J Maas. What she should have
yeah.
done is saved the Surreal and killed Amron.
Everyone's awkward around her. Amron doesn't speak to her. Varian's looking wary at her, and Elaine the wretch had taken the only seat between Freya and Varian, so she had to sit next.
But
And Lucian's just like a spare part somewhere over there, and I'm like, oh God, Lucian, she's not gonna go next to you.
It sucks. It really does. I do actually feel a bit for Lucian. I think he just needs it's not happening. go do your shit. But
Yeah,
I also
yeah.
felt bad that Nesta invited Emery and Gwen to join, which I thought was sweet. But
Yeah, 'cause
obviously
she's
they
her
were
own
like,
friend.
no, I've got stuff, and that's fine. I get that.
Yeah, it's her family thing. But yeah, she just wanted to be comfortable. But anyway, Moore's nice to her. I know you're not going to say nice things about Moore, but she did say like she's the only one that takes an interest in what she's been doing training wise, and asked if she could like come and be present to practice and take
I'm not
part.
gonna lie, I hope that's not a relationship that happens. I don't care.
What?
Or a
The-
nest. Mm-mm.
No, well, I don't think they're going to be best friends, but see, like, out of everybody that's talking to her, it's the only one that's talking to her. And then, obviously, Asriel is having his old gloomy shit with the shadows in the
He's
corner.
always like that. He's like that. It's just his
He's
thing.
looking at Elaine and Lucy going, oh. And at least, like, she picks up on it, and she goes and checks on him and says, are you all right? So that was nice about Nesta. So she is growing as a person.
I did like how Lucian gets asked, like, oh, so how's things at the spring court? And he's like, how do you expect? Like, how do you expect? Because he's like, tensions rippled through the room, confirmation that Tamlin had heard the news of Farah's pregnancy. And Lucian's grim face, she knew he hadn't reacted well. So, interesting.
Interesting. Yeah.
I want Tamlin to come in and be a bitch again. It was so brilliant the last time. That was the only good thing about the last book was when Tamlin was like, do you know that noise that she makes? And she's like, whatever.
Yeah, such good comeback. That was just like sass the entire time.
I want more of Tamlin being a sassy bitch. That's what I want. I
Yeah,
want more of that.
we're there for the sassiness. So yeah. Anyway, like she's still there, and everyone's getting present. She's not getting very much, because well, everybody doesn't like Nesta. And,
Am I right in saying in this
he goes in the river? We find out what he got her in the river, and I have to say, it wasn't all that. I don't think. I mean, she would have might have liked it.
Manuscript, yeah,
But it was a tiny manuscript, a tiny little manuscript.
Yeah, I'm not bothered about that. I mean, I'm sure it does mean something to her, but eh.
I was like, okay.
Yeah, it was a miniature illuminated manuscript, one of the first printed books of existence. So it's kind of a big deal, I guess. It's like a first edition. First edition. But I have to say, am I right in saying at this winter solstice, the exchange of gifts, that the only person that gives Nesta a gift publicly, we get Cassian's going to give her one later. We know he's saying, I'm going to give it to her later, is Asriel.
Yeah, her sisters don't even get her a gift. Well, it doesn't say they give her a gift.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
It says like, I got you like a little gift for reading, which is like a little like a light at the top of a bookmark.
It's basically a book light, essentially.
Yeah, she loves reading, and he's like taken a notice and like got to know her, and I thought that's nice. Like,
I did think that was really sweet because she gets so excited about it and she like hugs him. And then even Asriel, who's all like gloomy all the time, he starts like smiling and giving her a hug back. And I just thought, I like this friendship. Yeah, I like this friendship. Like Asriel gets it. He gets it. I really feel bad for Asriel.
Like, I do feel a bit bad for him. He's all alone. And yeah.
He says he chuckles and squeezes her gently, and I'm like, And Cassian's really happy because he's like, this is really sweet. And she says, thank you. It's
his brother, and he just wants him to like get on with her. Like, I think Cassian's just like, I want everyone to see the good side of Nesta because we all just think awful things.
That's why I think only Asriel was the first to kind of get that at the forefront, because he has obviously experienced a lot of trauma, as we know from the last book, and I think he kind of gets it a little bit. Like, he can see underlining what's going on.
But he's also been at training, hasn't he? Like every morning, and he can see
that's true.
The difference that she's making to herself and the other priestesses. So he's like, she's not an evil person. I can see the difference. Where everybody else is like, no, she's like troublemaker, blah blah blah, and all this kind of stuff.
Especially Amran, who's at home.
No, she's not doing anything. She's supposed to be managing the whole thing. Oh my God, Amran's just a waste of space right now.
She's totally
take her to the summer court and let it be.
Yeah, just go with Varian. Bugger off. Thank you. Anyway, why is Varian there all the time?
He's
Like,
always there.
surely, like, Tarquin is like, where the hell is the prince?
You know, isn't he like the captain of all his navies? Like, not doing his job. Not doing his job. We've
Yeah.
buggered off. So I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, for God's sake.
No, I
So
know.
anyway, yeah. So she goes to bed and like, yeah, she's like at 1 o'clock in the morning, they're all still partying and she says, I'm off to bed. And that's when she goes to her room and Cassian comes to hang out and say, hey, I've got a present for you. Not that kind of present.
Yeah, I've got a present for you. It's in a dick in a box. No, it's not that.
Not that kind of present. But yeah, he gets her a silver ball nestled in a black velvet box, and when she taps it comes alive with music, and it's a symphonia, a rare device from Helion's court that traps music within itself and plays it for him. And she's like,
that's
crying.
It's a better gift than the last one. Not gonna lie. I know it was
Definitely
a first edition, but still. So I agree.
Yeah, and he went back to the Huon court when, like, after that night, and made the band play everything again and recorded it for her so that she would have it without the noise, the background noise. And I was like, oh my God, that's like so nice.
Whipped. He completely whipped.
Loved her.
I did like that. Obviously, when she loves the gift, but now she's going, oh, it's getting too real. It's getting too real. And she's doing the classic pushing away situation. So she's like, no, I'm sorry, I can't accept this gift. Like, it's too much. Because she's like, knows this gift means a lot more. And he's getting pissed off. This is the first time Cassian is like, I've seen him just like losing his shit. And he's like, it's not a fucking wedding ring. Like, chill the fuck out.
Yeah, and she says, no, I look to Eris for that. And he says, say that again. And I was like, that was harsh. That was harsh, Nesta.
I was like, Nesta, you asking for it. You asking for it when you said that. And he's like, no, I'll look to, but at this point, you know, with Nesta, she is just pushing people away again because she got scared. She got scared. Yeah. It got real. And she went, no. And he's now gone, no, absolutely not. And to Cassian's credit, good point. And he's like,
yeah,
I'm not with you. She says, I'm fucking you. And he's like,
oh.
And then she's like, oh, why the only thing fit for a bastard born brute, right? And she's like, that's not what I said. Awful. Anyway, they have this back and forth where there's basically a bit of bitchy shit going on. And she's then trying to get him to understand, no, Eris is a brute. He's a brute. He's a piece of shit. I would marry him because I'm I'm just like him. Basically, I'm a piece of shit. I'm a piece of crap. So I only deserve crap people like Eris. I don't deserve someone like you. So it all starts to come out.
I know. It says you are good, Cassian, and you are brave and brilliant and kind, and I could kill anyone who has ever made you feel sad, but I will never be good enough for you. And I was like, oh, God.
I know. And she's like, this is my punishment. I need to deal with this. And she's but then he's upset. She's crying, and it's all very emotional shit going on.
Yeah, and I think he just kind of like comforts her and says, no, that's not true. You need to like let your walls down and swallow your pride. And she's like, there will be no one else for either of us. And she's like, oh God. She finally like bends, doesn't she? And she
finally gets a cuddle, basically. And after she's like, I don't deserve this shit. And he's like, that's crap. Like, we both deserve each other. And it's like, okay. So eventually, after a bit back and forth, it resolves into a point. Neither of us, there'll be no one else. It's just me and you. And he's like, yes. And then he's like, ever. And that's basically ever. She swears it. And they have a big kiss. And
some sexy time.
Basically some sexy time. Yeah, they get naked.
But like, this is like not like the previous like time Spice. This is sort of like a nice time.
There's no screwing. It's making love. That's what it is.
But what makes you think is that when it's all happening, they're like, oh, there's gold threads between their very souls, sure with their words, which makes me think that's the bond. They're mates.
They're mates.
Yeah, they're mates.
Yeah, as soon
That
as
makes sense.
Lanthus in the last, chapters we were discussing in the previous episode, he
Oh, he
said,
said, it's
"Oh,
sure.
you're," and then he didn't get to finish it, and he stabbed. I was like, okay, because remember what they said that men feel it more than women do.
Women,
They
yeah, they feel it
know it.
first and stuff. They know it.
So
The women have to accept it. And when they said the whole like gold threads in their souls, I was like, yeah, that's it.
yeah,
Like
you
because she
know
accepted it and they said like, yeah, like we're you and me together forever. Like
it.
that's it. Like the bond has been made.
Been sealed, and well, yes, ish or whatever. I assume so. Yeah. Anyway, so but she asks him to stay. So instead of
Oh,
him
yes.
going to leave like he usually does, they have a cuddle and they sleep. They
Yeah.
actually sleep together.
Another reason why this is a mating thing. I'm definitely sure this is it. Yep.
That's it. Well, doesn't she have to give him a piece of food? That's it, right? Or something like that.
Oh, right. Okay. No, she didn't do that.
She hasn't done that
Yeah.
yet, but it's we're progressing to the next stage, basically.
Yeah, because he
So
has to go in the morning on chapter 59. He's like, sorry, I've got to leave. He's like, why? Why must you leave?
yeah,
I've got
why must they leave, Linda? What is it he's rushing off to?
a snowball fight. The annual snowball fight that happens. Oh my God.
I don't even have words. I know that was something that we knew from reading Frost and Starlight, but yeah. And she even laughs. She goes, "You three, the most feared warriors in all the land, have an annual snowball fight." And he's like,
Yes,
"Oh
I've got to
yeah,
win this.
yeah." And then we take a steam in the birchen attached to the cabin afterward. You're like, all right, okay, lads' night. I get it. Bugger off. That's fine. So that happens. But then she says 3 days passed with no word from Cassian.
Oh yeah, Cassian's not there. He's back at his still. Where's he gone? And she's at training, and like with Gwen and Emery again, and she's just like saying, "Oh, like I don't know where he's gone." But
That's right.
they're like, "Oh no, he's got the walk. The walk, you know, when a male knows how to use his."
I thought that was hysterical.
My
'Cause I'm
God.
like, do guys have like a wonk when they know how to? I don't know about that. Anyway, so she's getting a bit annoyed. Nesta, she's like not annoyed, but she's missing Cassian.
Yeah.
She's like, so she invites Emery and Gwen over for a magical hot slumber party.
Slumber party. Yeah, they're like, come round, because like everyone else is buggered
Let's
off and
make
I'm by
friendship
myself.
bracelets.
Yeah, so yeah, like so, and also I can't believe that they didn't know that she has a magical house as well. So yeah, it's basically, doesn't it? Emery comes in and they're reading books, like having a little reading book bit. Then like Gwen comes in with her making like, oh, we're gonna make bracelets, and they're like, no, this is a magical house, and she's like, what? Ask for anything, and they go a bit crazy.
They go
I want a
crazy to the
horse.
point that one of them makes a miniature Pegasus.
Yay! Miniature Pegasus, cakes, bubble
The
baths.
fact that each bubble held a tiny bird fluttering in it. Bubbles.
Yeah. Well, they were
Sorry
kind
about
of like, what was that? But yeah. So basically, they push the house to the max to try and see if they can get it to create anything and everything. And they're just like, yeah.
She's like, I feel like they're taking advantage of the house. And I'm like, of course they're taking advantage of the house. You made a miniature Pegasus. How is that not
Yeah.
taking advantage? Like,
Yeah. But Gwen does say that you hear a bit about like Gwen's sister as well, that they were twins. And she
yeah,
does open up a little bit
Katrin.
about it. And then she said, I
Yeah.
wish I could have had more moments with her. So we realized that she must have passed away in that siege.
Yeah. So she's like, yeah, so we learn about her twin, Katrin, and that it sounds like basically, yeah, she was either killed, most likely, and
And
they
then
have a little
I just wish she'd have more sisterly moments like this. But then
yeah.
which is weird, and I think this is going to be something further on, is that they make these friendship bracelets and like everybody's making them. And obviously Gwen's really good, Emery, but Nesta's shies at it. But then they have charms on it. And they say, oh, you need to make a wish and we'll put them on it. And Nesta goes, no, let me do it, because she can make things, make magical items.
Can, yes, that's right. So she says, because she says, doesn't she, your bracelet is going to be an eyesore, Gwen. And Nesta scowled at the wobbly bunch up mess that was her first. She's like, job. Keep going.
Yeah, so she holds on to this like tiny coin charm, and they make a little wish to say that, what was it? I wish for the courage to go out into the world when we are ready and to find a way back to each other, no matter what. And then I was like, is something going to happen where they get separated, or like they have to find somebody or find each other? Because I was like,
you don't put a line in like that unless there's a plot point. Like, you just don't.
and it's a made item. So I was like, whereas I was a bit like, to be able to find our way back to each other. So I was like, something's going to happen where they have to use the bracelet to find each other or something. Maybe
I just
support.
think it's hysterical that basically what happened was the three of them went back to the house, got in their PJs, got a couple of drinks in, started messing around with the house and having a good laugh, and then made friendship bracelets.
Sounds like an excellent time.
I feel like that's something that a lot of maybe you book lovers listening, the book community, that are like, we had that too, but minus the mini Pegasus.
Yeah. Sounds like an excellent evening.
But
Like, why
I
are
have
they
to
having
say,
one?
there's a moment in chapter 60 where,
Okay.
again, Cassian's been gone for 5 days, right, at
What's he
this point.
on? Like, what the hell?
He's come back, but what's funny is, so Gwen's there, she's holding the blade, the ribbon's there, she got to cut that ribbon, and they're all cheering
Why does she have to cut the ribbon?
because to be a Valkyrie officially, it like makes you've passed the test. You are now a Valkyrie. If you cut that
Yeah.
ribbon in one slice, one cut, you're a Valkyrie. So they're going, Gwen, yeah, go girl. And I just love Emery's response. Do it for the miniature Pegasus. And Cassian's like, what the fuck?
What
Okay.
did I miss?
And Nesta's laughing, going, yay, miniature Pegasus. I feel like that's just going to be a line now. I'll be like, Linda, you can do it. Do it for the miniature Pegasus.
Yeah, I was like, yes, being girls. I was like, good. But yeah, he loved Gwen the most. Yeah.
Despite your efforts to woo him. That's so good.
But yes, so she's doing that, which isn't it? She's lunges forwards, and doesn't she cut it? She does cut it. Half the ribbon fell on the floor.
Because she's like, nothing can break me. Nothing can break us.
Valkyrie!
She does it, and everyone's like, oh my god, yeah! She lunges. It's all great. And Asriel and Cassian are in the background watching what's going on, like a bunch of pervs, let's be honest.
What? I don't think they are watching it. They're just basically like, yeah, like a
No,
promise.
I know, but you're like,
They
so anyway, she does it, then Emery does it, and then Nesta does it.
Yeah.
But before that happens, Nesta takes the ribbon off that Gwen's just cut, because she's the first one to do it, and she puts it around her head, and she's like, Valkyrie.
Yes.
Oh, you are crowned Valkyrie. And it's all very awesome. So now they've got so far in their training that they can now slice a ribbon with one cut precise. They have graduated Valkyrie lessons. So yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, but I think it doesn't, like, Asriel and Cassian, they were looking at them, they're like, right, okay, what we're going to do, they're going to make it the next day. They find out, they're like, well, if you've passed this, now we're going to make to the next time. We're going to make obstacles. So yeah, they're like, make obstacle trainings, and
because they want them to work as a unit, right?
Yeah, as a unit, and that's what you need to do now. But they can't get through the first one, so like they're like, great, you did that. Now you need to work together to do it. And they put all the priestesses together, like in teams of 3, to see if they can do the obstacles, which are supposedly change every day.
Yeah,
so
they don't keep them the same. They keep alternating them, which is, they're like, so annoying. But what I do love is the sass that we get from Gwen, because Asriel's explaining, the obstacle courses and stuff, and he, Cass is like, yeah, look simple, whatever. And Gwen asks Asriel, what do we get if we finish the course? And Az is like, shadows dance around him. Since there's no chance in hell any of you will finish the course, we didn't bother to get a prize. And then boo sounds. Like, can you imagine all the priestess going, and Gwen lifts her head in challenge. She's like, We look forward to proving you wrong. And you're just
Yeah.
like, slay! Gwen's got
I like this where he
attitude!
was like, remember how Gwen was with the ribbon? You're the new ribbon ass.
I
He's
did
just
love
like,
that. And Asriel's like, okay. But
but I
also,
think
I
that
think
because it's such
I
like a
think
play
Asriel's kind
banter.
of impressed. He's impressed. Yeah.
He's like play banter, and I feel like he doesn't have that really that much with everybody. Like his inner circle has got pretty serious, I feel. Like
Okay.
Reese is always with Frey and that's serious. Moore's off somewhere, and now he's kind of getting play banter, and he's like, this is quite cool.
I like it. I'm liking this Asriel. Like he's getting, he's meeting all these different, like, the priestesses, and he's been training with them. I'm also gonna call something. I want Asriel and Gwen to get together.
Well,
I
they
know it's
don't
early
even play
stages,
together.
but I
just
can
don't
see
the
that forming.
connection.
I
I
can
don't
see
see
that.
No, I just feel like I don't see the connection as like I still think he's got still the same as like Emery, like and Az and all that. Like I just think he sees them as like students.
No, but don't forget. But don't forget, Gwen was always like looking up at Asriel
Oh, I
when
think
he
she
wasn't
fancied him.
invited. Well, I think he was there at the time that obviously she got rescued or whatever.
Ah.
And so she was probably a bit hesitant with him. But then also now she's like, I'm going to prove you wrong. And they all fancy Asriel because he's hot, right?
Yeah.
And that's absolutely fine. But I'm thinking that could be an interesting duo, Asriel and Gwen. I'm just saying.
Okay.
You're right. There's no like hefty amount of intelligence that I can base this on, but I just think that could be something. Who knows? Anyway, so they do the course and it's hard. It's
So yeah,
hard.
it's
And
like this bit is sort of like they keep doing the courses. Nesta keeps walking downstairs, so I think it's trying to be like time has passed, weeks
and
are passing,
I
that
do
kind
like
of thing.
Emery's response where she's like, we keep trying until we wipe the smug look off of their stupid, perfect faces.
Yeah. So and then they get to the last bit where they say that Emery, Gwen, and Nesta turn up, and it's just them, and all the other priestesses are not there. And they have to do the obstacle course by themselves, and they
That's
do it,
right.
but they have an audience.
But they didn't know they did. They had
No,
no
they didn't know.
idea. But it's
Yeah,
it's not Kier, sorry. It's
it's
Devlin,
definitely
the
yeah,
Illyrian army kind of team, and they're noticing what they've done, and they're like,
because it's the first task, isn't it? It's like like the qualifiers to the blood rite, and they
yeah.
said we wanted to see if you could do it, and they said, and that you did it, and they're like, do we have to do it? And they're like, no, you don't have to do the blood rite, but we wanted to show them that you could do it. So yeah, you are like
Yeah.
as one of them would be.
Yeah, because then Asriel says it's different routes from the various qualifiers over the centuries. So they did it. And then I love how Nesta's like, I'd rather be Valkyrie, thank you. I don't want to be a stupid Illyrian. And I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
girl, yeah. And he's like, God help her. So 61, Nesta. Okay, remember about Nesta and them stairs, girl. She loving them stairs. And Nesta finally goes down the stairs again. The last test for herself. But it's a test for herself than it is for anybody else. She's like, can
Yeah.
I get down these stairs without falling or, whatever, dying? And so she goes. And she gets to the bottom of the stairs and she opens the door and she's just like having this moment of where she's been and where she is now.
Yeah, and she comes back and she's like, I've done it. I've made her life and I've decided to go to the back and now I'm climbing the stairs back up because I know I can do it. And Cassian's waiting upstairs for her because it's Starfall, isn't it?
Yeah,
And
where
he's
they like
on,
smack you in the face kind of stars, yeah.
and he's in his like nice finery. So I'm thinking like a tux or something. And he's like, hey.
A little bit of a lapel going on, yeah. He's looking pretty.
And she's like, yeah, I'll just go with me. And the poor Nesta,
She
she's
looks
like,
like shit.
yeah, she looks like shit. She's still in her like leathers. And she's like, all right, let's go. And he's like, probably like, you smell like sweat. Okay, let's go.
I kind of love it. He's like, all right, okay, yeah, it's fine.
But yeah, they go up to Starfall. So he's like, okay, then the party's already started. But it's nearing the peak. So come on, I'll show you. And she goes up. And I think I don't know where Nesta was. Like she must have been in a hovel somewhere for the first starfall she was at. Because it was after winter solstice and that's when she was in a bad place and drinking
Yeah,
a
that's
lot.
true.
She must have missed it. Because she's like, wow, like I'm so high up and I see, yeah, she barely remembered last year's starfall. She had been too drunk to care. So that's where she was.
Right. So she just drank herself silly, which is understandable. But there's an interesting point, doesn't Nesta goes, so that when she's with Cassian.
Yeah. You can talk about it, Leela. Like, doesn't she see Amren there?
She sees Amren at the Starfall party. And can I just say,
This would
I'm
never
pissed,
happen.
guys. I'm pissed. I'm like royally angry. Like, this is okay. I don't care. Right. Let's just get this off my chest. So I don't know if I can do it. It just angers me so much.
Do you want me to explain it?
I think so. Yeah, I think so because I'm just, I can't even talk about it. It infuriates me even now.
There's a bit. So they're she's looking at the stars. She's like, oh, wow. She sees all the inner circle and then she spots Amren there and she goes up to her and she kneels to Amren and she says, sorry for everything I've done. Like, you give me kindness and I treated them like garbage. And I'm a bit like, okay, I think I get why you would apologize, but Nesta would never kneel. Nesta would never kneel. Would you like to talk about it, Leela?
Rage. It's a rage. Right, I'm not even caught. This is my reaction. I was reading it and it says, Nesta fell to one knee and bowed her head. I'm sorry. What the? Literally almost through the book. I'm sorry, Sarah J Maas. The way you have written Nesta, even as she's getting herself better and she's getting back on track, no way in absolute hell would she bow on one knee. Would she apologize? Sure. That was, she'd go, hey, Amren, take her hand perhaps, hold it in hers and say, I'm sorry, I'm truly sorry. Bowing? No way would she ever succumb to that. That is Nesta. That is like, you know how Nesta struggled to get off the rock because it was like everything in her was like, absolutely, I'm not going to let anybody push me around. She ain't kneeling. You have taken a character and basically not understood her. And that's how I feel about this moment. Because that is just so out of character for her. To apologize, sure, but to kneel? No. You know,
it wouldn't happen.
About this. It's not.
No, I didn't think so. Like she was saying, I get the whole like, yeah, you show me kindness and by losing your friendship, and that's it. And Amren does go on to say that, oh, the house sings, I can hear it in the stone, so you must have done something to it. And she said, no, you made the house. So she reiterates what we already believe, that she's made this happen. But then she said here, like, what we didn't know, when you arrived, what did you wish for the most? And Nesta said a friend. And then she said, you made one. And that's her. So I don't know, did the house already exist or did she give it life? Like, I guess Nesta gave it life.
Well, the house, I think, already would provide. It was a bit like a Encanto house on the basic level, but she gave it life because she was so lonely and desperate to have like some comfort that the house became her sort of comfort and support. And that's kind of nice because it's sort of that inner ability, that what she was feeling inside, she could, I guess, with her powers, unknowingly make something, which was quite nice. She said the darkest in the pit is the heart of the house.
Yeah, because she said, I only make terrible things. And she said, this house is good. And she's like, no, like, it's like you. It's got good sides and bad sides. So
yeah. Oh, you're suddenly changing your tune, Arby. Are we suddenly changing your tune, Amren? I'm not calling you a waste of life. I don't like Amren right now. Again, this is so out of like, Amren's like, oh, yeah, I'm your friend now. Fuck off! You've been calling her a total bitch for the whole thing.
Yes.
This whole scene made all sense to me. What it should have done is you could have had the whole apology from Nesta minus the bowing. And then the whole conversation about the house, fine. And then Amren would just kind of go, and there would be a level of understanding in their eyes that we will grow from this. But she wouldn't go, oh, the house is like you, good and dark. No, she wouldn't do that. And then she's like, welcome back to the night court, Nesta. And I'm like,
that was a bit of
do you know
tease.
what? That line
Tease.
needed to be cut, Sarah. It was shit. Okay. No.
So cheesy.
I was angered by that whole segment right there. I was like, oh, she's going to Starfall. Ooh, fun times. Ooh, she's going to talk to Amren. What? Yeah, no.
What is going on? So, yeah. But the next chapter is like, spring dawned in Valera, so we've missed 3 months.
I didn't understand that. Yeah,
it's like,
understand.
That happened, and now it's spring. That was winter, now it's spring. 3 months have passed. You're like, okay.
They don't say, and I don't know how the seasons operate in the winter court, the night court. Sorry.
I'm guessing the same, but like I think she's just trying to say time has passed. Like 3 months have passed. Nothing's happened with Briallyn. So yeah.
But Eris is still waiting for Nesta, to give him an offer, I suppose. So it's a bit weird that amount of time has passed. Anyway, a rare star, yes. So we're in chapter 62, and a rare red star is blasting across the sky. It's seen as like an omen, like the blood rites coming, So just, I'm thinking, are we going to have a Hunger Games sitch? Do you know what I'm saying with this? I don't know.
Well, yeah, the blood rite then it was only a few days away. So like that's all going to happen, and everybody's like impatient about that. Eris is waiting for Nesta and Cassian when they arrived in the forest. So they've gone to meet Eris now in the middle where none of the other High Lords can see them.
Yes, because they realize the spring court's probably not a great idea. Because last time it didn't end up so good.
And but when they get there, like Eris is waiting for them. But like Nesta wants to know about the sacred mountains.
And Eris is like, have you never seen them? Let's have a conversation about that.
Yeah. Cassian's like, I didn't come here for a history lesson. And we're like, no, shut it, Cassian. We know that you're a bit pissed off, but we want to know about the mountains. So
it's so funny because I do like, she's like, no, I actually am interested in it. Like, let him talk.
Yeah. So there's sister peaks, isn't there? No, there's 3 of them.
There's
3 sister peaks. Yeah, one at the prison, one at the Illyrian blood rite, Ramiel, and the third one is the one at the mountain under where Amarantha had our night court thing.
It's bald and barren, basically. Yeah, it's no good. So the 2 of the 3 have underground palaces carved in them.
But nobody's at Ramiel, so I bet there's one in Ramiel or something.
There is. And maybe that's the one that the harp closed the door to. That's my thought. Maybe. So then Eris starts talking to them, and he says about his daddy, Baron, that he's visited the continent again, and he believes the fallout is fast approaching. So they are waiting for Nesta to find the harp because he hasn't been communicated with the fact that they already have it. And then
he's a bit angry about that.
He's a bit annoyed about that because he's not been communicated with that. He's like, oh, so you already have it? And they go, well, kind of. Yeah.
Yeah, does it make a difference? Yes. And they're like, oh, okay. So, right, he's a bit like, right, okay, then, do you have any plans? I think Eris gets a bit of it's, he's just like, so is there something else the night court is doing then? In the background, they're like, but Cassian sort of like picks up his own and is just like, no, I'm going to use my tongue to stop you, Eris. And is saying that we'll tell you what you need to know, and we'll try not to forget this time. So he's given back now, Cassian. He's got a
bit of panache. He's got backbone, courtesy of I think Nesta. Yeah, and he Eris does say he warns them about not to go after the crown, as Briallyn could of course use it against them, turn them against each other, and then reveal where the 2 items are, because now they have the harp and the mask. So anyway, so that happens. They have a bit of a bitch thing. He's a bit annoyed about that. Even the whole Cassian's like, try to fuck us over, Eris, and you risk yours. He's like, do whatever you want. Eris just starts. I feel kind of a little bit bad for Eris because he's just trying to do this alliance, and they're kind of shaft him a little bit.
Yeah, they're trying to give back to him because they think really bad of him. They think bad things of him. But yeah, we've got this whole thing about like maybe he's not as bad as he is. Yeah. So I don't know. But yeah, they kind of give him back to it and said, and then he goes to Nesta, what about my offer to you? And she's like, I suppose once we have the crown in our hands, the Night Court won't need you after all. Neither will I. And he's just a bit raging about that.
Yeah, that's basically being rejected. And that's never fun. Once they have that fight and they bugger off, I think it's quite funny that Cassian, she's like, well done, Cassian, you kind of held your own in there. And he's like, I just channeled you, basically. Did you like my I will slay my enemies look? I feel like I had that down. Did you like it?
Slay my enemies.
And she's like, you did. And I'm like, oh, very sweet moment.
But it's short-lived because they go for a little fly and then they end up in Valaris and then
that's
like,
right.
I don't know how, like, she just is a bit like, what does he say that kind of kicks her off?
Yeah, so so they're having a conversation. It's the whole mate thing, basically. This is where it finally comes up. So they're having a walk in Valaris and, you know, she's like just having a time, brushing a kiss, all that kind of stuff. And it sort of ends up with, do you undermine my image as a warrior? Because again, Cassian's a bit sensitive, I think, about the fact that he isn't a Reese and he's not like some prestigious guy. He's just like a bastard child and a brute. So, you know, she's kind of not really wanting to have this conversation.
Yeah,
because she's just saying like, oh, well, it's different from Farrah and Reese because they're mates, and that's, you know.
Yeah. And he's like, we're not. And she won't say it. And he's like, keep say it. It's just a word. And she's too frightened to say it, isn't she?
Yeah, because what is it? She says, I have nothing to hide with you. I want them to, because he wants people to know that they're together, they share a bed, that's it. And she's like, I don't want people to know. And she's just like, it's mate. And he's like, the word you're looking for is mate. It's, you know, and she's like, that word means nothing to me, Cassian. She's like, it means something to all of you, but in most of my life, like, you have a husband and a wife, and that's as good as it gets. Mate's just a word. And he's like, that's bullshit. And he gets really angry. And he's like, why are you frightened? She's like, I'm not. What spooked you? Just being seen with me in public. And she's like, yes, having him kiss her and realizing.
But then he goes, ask me why I vanished for nearly a week after solstice. Why suddenly I had to do an inspection. And because he's like, because I knew what it meant. I didn't want to scare you. He didn't want to scare her. And like that we were mates. So he kind of just tried to give her the time to come to terms with it. So, but I think she's always known it, but she just won't say it because it's the last.
She's probably had an idea, but she's been dealing with all the other shit. So naturally she's not gonna deal with that. But she keeps her mouth shut. And I'm gonna say Cassian doesn't. This is not a good move for Cassian. I think Cassian's fucked up here. Now I understand his frustration.
He's desperate, and he's got the whole like mating bond thing. And she's saying to him that she goes, because if I say mate, the last scrap of my humanity goes away. And with that one,
he's like asking her to say it.
Human, but she's got like, I'm no longer a human. I'm one of you. And she doesn't like. She just wants to cling to what she has. And yeah, she doesn't want that because that's something else that's been taken away from her.
Yeah. And it's like he says, just say it. And she's like, no, not saying it. And
she gets really angry and she says to him, what does she do? She does that bond, wasn't it? I can't remember what it is. It's the agreement that they have.
That's right. So he said, if we all remember, he said to get her to train, because remember before she wouldn't train, she'd sit on a rock all day. And he managed to get her to train not in that Illyrian camp. And he said, if you do some training, I will give you any wish at all.
A favor, yeah.
Favor, basically. And I have to honor it. So they have a tattoo and that seals the deal. And she goes, I'm calling in my chit, essentially. Like, go away and don't come back until I ask for you.
Yeah, or a week has passed, whichever
That's right.
comes first, I don't care. And he's like, go away, and he can't do anything because like it's on his back, and
Yeah,
he's
so
like,
he's being
oh God.
he's starting to push against it, and it's not a good. It's never want to do that 'cause it's gonna really mess you up. So eventually he does it, and he flies into the sky and goes, and that's it. Because she's like, but to her
Yeah.
credit, I think she was right because she didn't want to say anything more that would hurt him. The urge to strike and maim, like, you know, a wounded animal, and she could feel it bubbling, and she was like, no, I'm gonna get rid of him because I need space, I need the time.
Yeah.
And
Which is
he
good.
was not giving her that. He was like, say that you're my mate, say it. And it's like,
Yeah,
no,
that was a bit
Cassian,
too much in the
back
first.
the F off. You're not pushing someone into this. Like, ugh.
Yeah.
So anyway, that happens. He vanishes, and she goes to Emery's house.
Yeah, she gets more to take her to Emery's house because she's really upset, and like
How
Emery
she
takes
gets
her.
more, I have no idea. Is more just
I don't know.
around.
And then Gwyn comes down and she said, I heard you might need us. And she's like, how the hell have you left the library? She's like, but you all needed us. So they have a little sleepover party where
Little
she's crying
slumber
a lot.
party.
Another slumber party. And she said, oh, I'll tell Cassian tomorrow. But like right now, I just want to cry and be by myself.
Yeah,
And
with her
then it
friends.
ends. Yeah. But then it ends on a weird note. So she's like sleeping and she can smell a male coming into her room, and it wasn't Cassian, Rhys, or Asriel, but full of hate. And then she hears Gwyn scream. She tries to get up, but something burns her nostrils, and then darkness comes in. And so she's been like chlorophylled.
Yeah,
Chlorophyll.
essentially. Yeah, it's not good. So you're like, of course it would happen when she called in her chit. It's the best way for it to happen. Bye, never come and see me. Oh no, I've been killed.
But the next chapter, I didn't know this would happen, and I was like, oh, like I didn't expect this. I thought it was a shock to me. Maybe it wasn't a shock to you, but to me, I was like,
Which bit?
chapter 63. I was like, oh, did you see it? Because I didn't see it coming.
No, tell me. Explain.
So yeah, they're like, so basically, this comes from like Cassian's view that
Yes.
he's just like, oh, I'm there. She can't get away from me. I've kind of gone through her, like, I've decided that I don't have to speak to her, but I can still be in front of her and just be visible. So in the morning, I'm going to show up and just be there. So he kind of goes off there to like speak to her. But when he gets there, he sends both Nesta, Gwyn, and Emery at the back door, but they're not inside. And Rhys is with him. He's like, they're not here.
Yeah.
And starts getting a bit nervous, like what's going on. But then there are male scents in the room, as if they've winnowed right there. But Illyrians have no magic unless it's the blood rite. The only night where they can winnow places is to winnow the people that are ready for the blood rite to the mountain. And I was
Yep.
like, oh.
I will agree with you. I didn't anticipate that happening at that point. I think if you think about it more, it makes sense. But no, I again was like, oh, shit,
They hadn't
okay.
agreed to do the blood rite. They hadn't agreed to do it. And
No,
yeah.
but you
And
know
Emery and
something's
Egwene.
afoot.
Yeah. So there's been a struggle, and Rhys goes off, and then he comes back and he says, yeah, Devlin just confirmed everything. The blood rite began at midnight, and Gwyn, Emery, and Nesta had been snatched to participate in it. And I'm like, they're not even ready. Like, all those Illyrians are like in their
No.
armor, in their gear, and they're in their 90s from a
Yeah,
sleepover
that's
party
a real
with
shit
tiny
thing.
slippers.
Yeah, which is kind of what you'd expect Devlin to do after he saw them complete the obstacle course, which was completed. Therefore, they could attend the blood rite because they passed it. And then he hates women. He hates women.
Yeah.
So yeah, he was going to do it.
They're witches.
Yeah. Ugh. So then we get into part 4 of this book, which is called Ataraxia, and chapter
Yeah.
64. Yeah, 64 starts with Nesta awakening from her unconscious state, and she is surrounded by unconscious Illyrians who are obviously there.
God.
Lost that blood right. She don't know this yet, so she's trying to go.
Yeah, she's just like shit. She's just like basically she's in a 90. She doesn't have any powers, and she's the only one awake so far.
Mm.
And so she gets up, and
Thank
she's
God
trying to
she's
figure
awake
out.
first.
Yeah, and they say this might be because she's not Illyrian. That's the reason why she might have woke up. Like,
Yeah, but Emery is.
so she needed something warmer because she's like freezing up there. She hasn't got any shoes, and she needs a weapon. She hasn't got any weapons. But then she's like looking around, seeing what she could do. She needs to move, but then she realizes that somebody's already up as
Someone's
well.
waking up. So there's a soldier that's woken up, basically. But there's a knife, which
Yeah,
is
and there's
a
not
no-no.
supposed to be weapons.
There's not supposed to be any weapons. So you already know this be a messed up blood right. And so she's staring at the Illyrian soldier that's woken up, and he's looking at the knife. She then catches what he's looking at, goes, oh shit, okay. I can either run, try to get it, or I have to run away from him and try to escape. But she's like, but I have no weapon, so I need to get one. So the
Yeah.
next
This
moment we
is the
know
Hunger
is
Games kind of thing, where they're like 5, 4, and they can see the things. And I was like,
totally
this
very
is
Hunger
Hunger Games.
Games-esque. Yeah, it was very much like that. So she runs, and we cut to Cassian freaking the hell out.
Well, understandably, because he's just like, what the hell? Like, widow to me. And he's like, you know what? I can't winnow you to, or you both die. Because if you take somebody out the blood right, you both, like, the person
Yeah,
in the
but
blood right
hear-
dies, and the person
Hear
that
me
took them out.
out. They didn't ask to participate. So
Still the laws.
yeah, but you know what? When he quite rightly says, fuck the laws, I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
All this
But
crap about Leaves Reese going, I'm sorry, it's a law.
you want to
Listen,
take that chance?
yeah, but then what they got? Just kill all the Illyrian soldiers. Who cares? Seriously.
So
That's
they
where
have
I'm
to
at.
stay in the right, and like Cassian's like having a like flipping like
breakdown.
attack, going like what the hell, like, and nobody was listening to anything. But then everybody else winnows over there and is talking about it, and he's just like, I'm freaking out. And then Hospital comes and goes, yeah, my spies have found that Eris has been captured by Briallyn, and they grabbed him, and now we need to winnow back to our palace. So I'm guessing like the Koshi's powers are there or something. And the Cassian's like, yeah, I don't give a crap. Like, go do that if you want to.
This
But like,
is another thing that made me enrage.
it
What
made me
annoys
enraged
me as
as
well is Farah makes a comment saying, Cassian, weren't you listening at all when we got here? And I'm like, no, of course he's not. He's flipping out about Nesta, and the fact that you aren't Hooker means that you're just a bitch. And then Azriel's like, he talks about what you just said.
she could die. Like, yeah, she could die. And then how are you going to feel about all that?
And what
he's just
really,
like,
okay, brace yourself, everyone. Brace yourself. Because if the bow from Nesta to Amryn didn't infuriate me, this bit sure as hell did. You may now talk, because I'm gonna, yeah.
So Eris has been captured by Briallyn and Koshi. They need, Azriel's like, we have to go and stake out and figure out what's going on and save Eris, because there's something going to hit the fan. Right, Cassian, you have to come with me and we'll do the stakeout. And they're all like, Cassian's like, no, I'm not doing that. I've got other shiz to go. My mate's over there, like, and I don't know what's happening. And they're like, and Freya's just like, well, we can't go. And Amryn's not got powers, so it's only you two that can go. And I'm like, no, even
Farah,
so,
are you listening? Your sister is about to die and possibly get raped by a bunch of Illyrian men. She is in her 90 in the freezing cold with men.
Yeah. And
let's not
she's
also
just like,
mention, like, Gwen has already probably, suggestively been in that situation.
And then, so Cassian rightly says, like, Rhys, you go down, see them, and then come back.
You'll be
That's
back
what you
in
do.
2 secs. Yeah, just
and
go
he's like,
and
no,
come
I
back.
can't do that. Freya's pregnant. And I'm like, no, like, that's the bit where I got just like, it doesn't matter. You can just
Cut
go
your
do that.
shit, just get on with it.
Everything. What was it? I was saying to you, it's just like, My husband left me to go to China when I was pregnant. You can do this, Reese. You can do this.
Yours was the best comment. Wait, I have to say this. This was the best text I got. I was absolutely killing myself laughing. When we were talking about Reese saying he couldn't go because Nesta was pregnant. And I
Not
just
Nesta.
thought,
Freya was
sorry,
pregnant.
Farrah
That's a
was
whole
pregnant.
different.
Yeah, that's a different thing. So what was it you said? Hold on, I'll find it.
Yeah, Freya's just like, yeah, I can't go. Like, he can't go either. Like, because we're raising like a child, we're not in the right condition. Just like, what? Also,
I literally was just like, are you joking right now? Are you actually joking?
what made this worse was the bargain that they've made with each other. Now, hear me out. Freya and Rhys have made a bargain because of what happened in War and Ruin to never leave to always leave this world together. So if one of them dies, the other one dies. I get that. But when you rule over a court, like, I feel like you can't really do that because Rhys said that he cares about his people and everything. And so you just want to desert your people. So if Freya dies, that's
So
it.
you
You're just
went
going to
through the
desert your
whole
people.
under the mountain thing.
Also,
Bring
you
it.
would rather make your child an orphan than one of your children. I was just a bit like, what? Why would you do this? Why would you do this? Like, is it better to make your child an orphan? That's terrible. So I don't know. I was just not happy about this. I was like, why? That seems a bit selfish.
Yeah, this was the only time I agreed with Amryn, who lost her shit and went, who was the dumbass that decided this, you idiots? Because I was like, yeah. No, your text was, my husband went to China when I was 8 months pregnant. Shut up, Farrah.
Shut up, Farrah. He could do it. Go.
Yeah, he's like, Cassian just found his mate, but when Rhys found his, he couldn't leave for like a month. They're the worst friends. Yeah, it's true.
They
like, if you
are.
think about Rhys and Farrah when they got together, you know, and it was totally different. It feels like there's one rule for everyone else, totally other rule for Farrah and Rhys. This was a dumbass decision to do this deal together and say, we will never be parted. If you die, I die. I'm sorry, but when you are, as you said, a High Lord and High Lady, the rules are different. You can't do that.
Yeah, you've got like people who are like, you know,
and so,
to look
but what's
after.
insane is the only person that gets angry about it is Amryn. Where Cassian's like, oh, we could lose Rhys. I'm like, Cassian, get angry.
Yeah, get angry. Yeah, and he's just like, we need you, Cassian. He's just like, let him die. Like about Eris, he's just like, let him die. I literally don't care. And he says, as tempting as that is, he's under the crown's influence. What does he know about us exactly? And Cassian's like, oh yeah, too much. I told him too much, but I don't care. And good for Cassian. Like, I think
anyway,
he's just saying that, like,
hold on a second. If he's already been taken, she already knows.
Yeah, she already knows what's going to be. Like, how are you going to capture it without her seeing? So that's not going to be good. And yeah, it doesn't matter. And Amryn's just like, you need to go now. We will return to Valaris and have a nice long talk about this bargain. And she's just like basically made the decision for them. And he's having to comfort himself. Like, literally, he has to say to himself. No one says it to Cassian.
No.
He says, I trained Nesta well, trained them all well. Like, if anyone can survive the blood right, it's them. Like, he has to comfort himself. I feel so sorry for Cassian.
Insane. And what's it's even more insane is that, and I can't remember if it's here. Like, doesn't Asriel say,
let's go?
It just says let's go, but I think as tapped his that's it. He added into the silence as tapped his siphons in his armor. But that's right. Cassian has literally had to be his own positive self to sort of get through this. Nobody's supporting him.
Said like, oh yeah, that's terrible about Nesta. So Eris was like,
this is what I'm saying. They don't care. They don't care. This is my problem with Sarah J Maas, is she's given such depth to Nesta's character and Cassian's involvement, getting her back, and the priestesses and all the stuff. that she has just made us absolutely dislike Rhysand and Farah. I
expected more
absolutely.
from Asriel. I expected more from Asriel at this point.
I feel like this is my issue with Cassian at this point, is he should have thrown Rhysand across the room and gone, so it's okay when your mate is fine, but when mine's in danger, it's a different story. Like, there should have been something. So this, I feel really a bit annoyed about this, because Cassian's been written so well, and I tell you why I'm getting angry is because we have read this book together. If you've been listening, we have spoken nothing but great things and thoroughly enjoying it. And I'm finding in these chapters, as we're nearing the end, she's losing sight of who Nesta really is. She's kind of making Cassian a bit like he's not like he should be, as his characters, we understand it, he'd be saying something to Rhys, but he's like, oh no, okay, fine. What? Asriel got annoyed about them when they wouldn't let him go to the crown. So now, like, I don't know. And everyone's.
Cassian? Why does it have to be Cassian? Why Cassian has the whole army? Can't he send some people from the army to help Asriel? It just
Because
has
at
to be
least
Asriel.
that army would help, but it's going to be like, oh, because we don't trust them. And it's like, it's not the point. It's not the point. These aren't the only two guys that can do
Do you think
everything.
Cassian's in the right frame of mind to do this mission right now? Do you think he's in the right frame of mind?
Right?
Like, if he says Briallyn and he's just like, oh, I'm going to kill Nesta, he's going to go crazy.
Totally.
And like
Agreed.
get himself into trouble or something like that.
I totally agree with you. I completely agree. So I'm getting a little bit, I'm getting annoyed right now because I'm feeling Sarah J Maas has started this book. It's great. It's great. And now she's messing it. She's messing it. And it's making me annoyed now because now I'm thinking, please God, don't make it end badly. Because it's all character building and you're kind of losing that with your characters. Cassian, quite rightly so, shouldn't be doing that. Anyway, I digress. We can finish this chapter. So this is our last chapter. Chapter
Cassian
64.
Cassian and Asriel will go off then to find Eris. And then we go back to Nesta, who's trying to run for that knife with the other Illyrian soldier.
Yes.
And they get there. But both of them, I think, get there at the same time and they just like roll down a hill, roll and bloodied and all this kind of stuff. And then finally the mail lands on her. And it turns out that Nesta actually managed to get it in his neck, is it?
Yeah, she sort of gets stuck in his...
While they're falling.
Yeah. She grabs it, he runs and buries it in his throat. And then Nesta, because he's dead now, she goes, ooh, clothes. So she takes all his clothes, quite rightly so, because I was thinking, girl, clothes. And she was like, yes. And then she covers his face with her nightie because she's like, whatever. The shoes are a bit big, but she's like, right, we must go. I must find Gwyn and Emery because they're in danger.
Yep.
And that's kind of how we end the chapter.
Yes. But the clothes are too big for her. So I'm guessing she's wearing giant boots, which are going to be hard to walk in. Like big trousers and a big jacket.
But it's either that or bare feet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you don't want that.
No.
So, yeah. But she's got a knife as well now. So she's okay. She's got a knife.
She's got a weapon.
But she can't make her magic. I was like, make a maid. But like, yeah, she can't.
I thought she might be able to because she was different, but perhaps not.
Yeah, I thought that maybe it didn't count, but like.
So that does come to the end of our discussion. It was a lot. I know it's long. It's a lot of stuff to discuss, I'm afraid. Chapter 65 is where we will continue on from next week.
Hunger Game.
Till the end of the book.
Yeah, this is it. We'll find out what happens in the Hunger Games. Will Nesta find the others? What the hell's going to happen here? Like something's going to happen with the Illyrians.
I'm going to tell you right now, Eris is Briallyn. Definitely, Cassian and Asriel are going to get caught or something by the crown. Like,
I just think they're going to line it up as well. Like that Cassian's not going to be in the right frame of mind and she's going to piss him off with something about Nesta and he's going to lose it.
And that's it. And yeah, it's not going to go the way they planned. We know this. So Briallyn and this blood right are going to kind of somehow come together as like a finale fight or something. The
Yeah.
fact that this is called part 4, Ataraxia, makes me think that sword's gonna make another appearance. I don't know where the sword is right now.
Yeah, where is the sword? Did she give
But
it back to him? It died?
I think the last time I remember, she put it on Reese's desk and she said, I don't want it. It's enough death for today. And that's where she left it. So
Enough for today.
that's it. But yeah, so thank you so much for joining us on I'm sure you have your own opinions on this book, and please do share them in the comments. Would be more than happy to hear about them. Maybe you think differently to us, and maybe you agree with the bow, and I would tell you you're wrong. But anyway, I will fight you on that. But no, you're entitled to your opinion. It's fine. It's just wrong.
There's some good bits, but yeah, there's some bits where it slips up, and I'm a bit like, what's going on here? So
Can I just say, I think we can all agree that Reese and Farah are just shite.
they're annoying right now, and I feel like they're
Super.
pulling right. They're like, well, our story's really thingy, so you need to go off and do stuff for us. And I'm a bit like, what? Why? Like, I don't know what's happening. I guess we'll find out in this final bit as well about Briallyn and Koshi and what they've been wanting to do. What is it they want to do?
We'll soon find out. But yes, thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you here same time Tuesday next week for the rest of this book till the end. So from chapters 65 till the end. And we'll finally find out what happens, and we will be in line with everybody else before the next book comes out. I hope it ends well. That's all.
Yeah. And remember, guys, about Shield of Sparrow. So remember to get your copy of that too. But yeah, join us for the final piece of A Court of Silver Flame.
Indeed. Take care, and we'll see you soon. Bye.